Hello, welcome to a Milestone Marketing Moment. I gave two webinars today, back to back to, actually a few hours apart, noon and 5 p.m. to members of an organization so they could reach the most people. And we helped the guests uncover how to attract and engage and get conversions from people who attended their um, actually, I'm sorry, not on how to do a webinar, but on how to get more people to engage with their offerings. It prompted me to want to jump on here tonight and give just a few tips of what it's like to prepare for a webinar and to encourage you, if you haven't given one, please don't be afraid of doing it. There are so many things that we're experts in just by virtue of having done something your whole life, whether it's been professional, a hobby, um, a skill, and other people can benefit from knowing what you know. So share it. If you're a business person, it is a great lead gen opportunity. So a few tips for offering a webinar is really talk about what you know. Same thing about writing or anything else. So for me, business-wise, that is marketing, how to attract and engage folks. What we talked about today is very, very much knowing your audience, first and foremost, your target audience and your persona audience. That is the reason that someone will book you to do a webinar. You can host one yourself, promote it in your own channels, but it's much better to get a wider audience if some other group or organization or business or other community invites you to share your talent with their constituents. Plan your topic, create visuals, have them support what you're going to say. Engage your audience with letting them know what you're going to tell them in the webinar. Give them 3 or 4 things that they are going to take away and encourage them to stay tuned and be able to do what you're sharing as soon as they end the webinar if they want. Sure, there can be deeper things to do, but they want to be motivated to jump right in and use something they learned. Be branded 100%. Use your visuals in accordance with your brand. Keep your slides simple. Keep your concepts building upon one another. Take the audience through a journey, just like in any other piece of content. Get the audience to participate. These webinars were 90 minutes. I didn't want to hear myself talk straight for 90 minutes, and neither did they. But most importantly, by getting the guests to tell me about their situations, what they were trying to accomplish, perked up the ears of the others listening as well. And we had 3 robust examples, real time, that people wanted to solve and why they came to this webinar. So if you engage in a webinar with a host, you'll get more out of it, and everyone gets more out of it. And also make sure you are explaining terms if you're using something that they may not have heard of. And also getting feedback and getting participation helps guide you through the webinar. You may also have a set of slides. You can change them around if someone's asking a question or you're inspired to connect another dot. If you know your topic well enough, you will not have a problem reordering it and bringing it back into your initial mission. Before you upload the webinar, make sure you have a call to action at the end of your webinar, but also sprinkle them in once or twice throughout. If you're offering people a consultation, let them see that QR code or your email address or your link to your calendar early on. Get them prepared to do that. So some short recap of tips for your webinar is share information you know, build a presentation, a slide deck, keep the slides simple, have a flow, have information, examples, case studies, questions built in, leave room for interaction, and then calls to action. Make sure you're taking your guests through a journey, just like in any piece of content. Be expressive, be comfortable. You're not presenting on something that you just learned. You know your topic. People are hoping to get something from it and give it to them and motivate and inspire them. And then repurpose that webinar into blogs, social media posts. Talk about how you created the webinar. Talk about how you learned to craft. There's many, many ways to repurpose and reuse and get value out of your content. So don't be afraid of conducting webinars. They are great lead gen, brand building events that are evergreen, most likely. If something is time sensitive, label it as such. But how to create a webinar, how to attract audiences to your organization, those are evergreen topics that can live on and be repurposed. So until next time, I encourage you to create content about what you know. It'll elevate your business, it'll elevate your brand, and you'll enjoy sharing your expertise.